This assisted video will include accessing Google Meet through Google Classroom. Google Meet is seamlessly integrated into your Google Classroom, which means you can access your virtual classroom meeting link for each of your classes in Google Classroom. The link acts as a dedicated meeting space for each class, making it easy for you to enter a virtual class meeting with your teacher. This assisted video will provide you with the information you'll need to know to join your virtual classroom meeting and some of the operations you'll need to participate in your virtual classroom meeting. Soon after you're registered for an online class, your teacher will send you an email to your SGU webmail inviting you to join their classroom. To begin the class, this email may include a link to join their initial classroom meeting virtually with Google Meet. You want to pay attention to the date and time your virtual meeting will take place and be prepared at your computer to click on this link before the start date and time. Once you've clicked on the Meet link for the first time, you may receive a window saying googlemeet.com wants to use your computer microphone and use your camera. Click on Allow and wait for the next step. After your first virtual meeting, your teacher may set up a classroom Meet link using Google Calendar. This being the case, an email will be sent to your SGU webmail, including the link or code to join virtually just before the scheduled time. Make sure you check your emails for this link. If your teacher has not used a calendar to schedule a meeting, you can join the meeting by entering the Google Classroom homepage and select the class card for the class you plan on entering virtually just before the scheduled meeting. By clicking on the class card, you will enter the class stream. At the stream, just below the classroom banner, you will see Meeting Link. Simply click on the Meet link Join, and you'll be taken to this Google home screen. And what you want to do is probably turn off your mic before you join now. So we're going to turn our mic off. Not now. And we're going to join now. And we've entered our Google meeting. And what you're seeing here is the teacher, and this is me over here as a student. The rest of your students will be lined up over here, but for now, it's just me as the teacher and me as a student over here. Okay, so you can see that my mic is turned off over here. Now, you want to leave your mic off unless the teacher asks you a question. So, once they ask a question, you're going to turn it on. Now, I'm not going to click on it to turn it on because we'll get this terrible squelchy sound, okay? All right, but just remember to leave it off unless you're asked a question so you can respond and others can hear you. The next little icon that you want to be aware of is the camera. You can turn your camera on and off, but it's advised by most of your teachers that you leave your camera on during the Google Meet. So let's go ahead and turn it off and we'll see what happens. Now remember, this is the teacher view here and my student view is over here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. And you can see over here, it gives my initial here, indicating that I turned my camera off, okay? Sometimes your teacher may ask you to turn your camera off while you're completing a task. And once you've completed that task, they may have you turn your camera back on, just as an indicator that you have completed that task, okay? I'm going to turn that camera back on by clicking on the camera icon here. Now, the next icon you need to be aware of is CC for closed caption. Now, if you have problems with hearing, you might want to turn the closed caption on. So I'm going to go ahead and click it. Now, it may not work because I have my mic off. So what will happen, it's going to type out everything that you are saying and you'll see it at the bottom of the screen. So let's try it. So you can see it asks me if I want to use English. And of course, we're going to use English. So we're going to do it. So again, I'm not going to turn that on, but it will type everything that is being said down here for you. Because if I do turn it on, you're going to get the squelch. Well, let me show you. Plug your ears. Okay, was going to say here, okay? The next thing is if you have a question that you want to click on, raise your hand, and it will indicate to the teacher, like over here, you have a question, okay? Again, you want to turn your mic on when that teacher wants to ask you, okay, what is your question? All right, let me turn that off and this back off. The next thing, the teacher may ask you to share your screen. So we're going to go ahead. This is share your screen option here. We're going to click it, and you have the option of sharing your entire screen. So we're going to click that, and let's say you want to share your entire screen. So you're going to get the meeting option. Well, you don't want to share the meeting because it's already being shared. But let's say you want to share your screen, which is the classroom screen. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And you notice the blue line goes around it here, meaning that that's been selected and you're ready to share that particular screen. So I'm going to go ahead and choose share. And in a minute here, it's going to show you what the share screen will do. Okay, so that's the screen that I chose to share. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop that. There's more options about sharing your screen here. So we're going to go back to the rectangle with the arrow in it and click it. We can choose a window. Well, what's the difference between a window and a tab? Because you can see tab down below here. A window is your entire screen is what you're seeing right now, and up here is the tab. So that if I open a new tab, I'll click here. This tab's open for the meeting. This tab's open for the Google Classroom. The whole thing then is actually a window. So let's choose a window. So it's going to show all of the windows that I have open on this computer here. So let's say it's this that I want to share with you. So I'm going to go ahead and click that and choose share. And there you go. This is what I'm going to share with you. And I can scroll through it up above as I share. So you can see me moving and scrolling through it as I maybe discuss it or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop presenting there. And we had one more option here is, whoops, wrong place, right here, the tab. So I'm going to click the tab, and you can see I have this tab open, meeting and practice. So I'm going to go ahead and choose share. Cancel. And dismiss. Alright? The next icon that you want to be aware of is the settings or more options. And hopefully your teacher will go over this more with you, but I'll just give you briefly. If you have a smart TV, you can cast this meeting to your TV. You can open up a whiteboard, which is your Jamboard. You can change your layout of how you want to view participants in the class. So you can choose all of them right here in the front, or spotlight just one person, or in the sidebar here, okay? You want to play with that option once you get into a Google Meet, okay? The next thing that we can do here is we can change to a full screen. We can apply a visual effect, meaning we can change our background. Let's go ahead and try that. So let's say, now remember, I'm the teacher here, so I'm not changing my background. But as a student, and what they're going to see in the foreground is the background option that will change. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click that. And you can see up here that my background changed as a student over here. Okay, so you can play with that. Also, you get several different options here of how you want to change your background. Find one that appeals to you. Okay, let's go back, see what other things we got here. We can report a problem, turn on captions again, we can do it from here. We can report any abuse, troubleshooting and help. If you have any problems, you might want to look here first. If not, you might want to ask your teacher or the distance education coordinator to give you some assistance. The same thing with the settings. We're going to go ahead and click that. And we're going to look at the audio here. So this is your microphone. If your mic's not working, you might want to go to this drop down here And those are the different sound options that you have applied on your computer that you could try the different ones to see which one's working for you or not. Same with the speaker. You get the drop down here and you can tell what speaker is actually working or not. Let's go ahead and test it. Okay, so you can see that mine is working here. Same with videos. You can change the audio or the layout or anything like that, make it easier to see you against a bright background and so on. So you can change the value of the background noise. And then of course there's the captions again. So you can change the captions from English to other languages, but most likely you're going to leave it at English. Okay, go ahead and close that down. Another important icon is a circle with the eye in it. It's the meeting details. So you can go over here. So if you want to meet, you can copy the joining info and maybe send it to somebody else that way through an email or a text. Another thing is more phone options. If you choose to join the meeting using your phone, you could go here and find out what the join options are. Although I really suggest for classroom purposes that you use a PC, a computer. It can be very dangerous with students joining a class while driving on their phones. Okay, go ahead and close that down. The next thing is the People's tab, or Show Everyone. So it's going to show everybody that's in the class. So you can see here it's just two people. That's me as a student, and this is me as a teacher. But all of your other students will also be shown here once they've joined the classroom. Okay, let's look at the other one. This is an important tool here. It's the chat with everyone. So if you wanted to say something in the class, you would open up the chat box and you can say, "Hello everyone," or "I need some help with this, I don't understand," or "Can you explain more?" or whatever it is that you want to say, you can put into the chat. Now sometimes your teacher will put in hyperlinks and different things there for you to actually go to. For example, let me go here and let's go to a web page, just anything here, and let's say I want to go to, let's try this, Peer Deck. I'm playing with that. So we're going to go to Sign Up Peer Deck, and it will pull up here in a minute, and I'm just going to copy this link, Control C, and me as a student or a teacher might go ahead and drop that in by doing a Control V and saying visit this site. Okay, so now let's try that. So let's go ahead and click on it and see what happens. So you can see it's taken me to the Peer Deck homepage, and so you can do that with almost any hyperlink from the internet or wherever that you want to put into the chat. Okay, let's go ahead and close the chat here. And this option your teacher is going to use mostly. So they can engage you in a breakout room, they can do polls with you, they can do a question and answer, or they can do a whiteboard, which is actually Jamboard that they'll take you to. With experience and being in a Google Meet, you're going to learn more about these options when the teacher uses them. And I'm sure they're going to give you directions of how to use them and how to join all of these different options here. Okay, let's go ahead and close that down. From here, you should be pretty much good to go. If you have any questions, again, ask your teacher. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Or if you're not satisfied with that, make sure you contact me as the Distance Ed Coordinator, and I can give you any assistance that you may need to help you understand how to use Google Meet. Okay? From here on, look at the rest of the videos that are part of this series to learn more about Google Classroom and Google Meet.